Have you ever trusted someone so deeply only to realize they were the one who put the knife in your back? Tonight, you'll hear a story of betrayal, revenge, and justice, one that will keep you at the edge of your seat until the very end. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss more dark and thrilling stories like this one. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this ride. The Broken Oath Part 1. Daniel Kade had always believed in loyalty. It was the very principle he built his life upon, first as a soldier, then as a detective. For him, loyalty wasn't just a word, it was a code. A code that shattered the night his partner betrayed him. It began with a case that should have been routine. A smuggling ring in the Port District, whispers of guns and money moving under the radar. Daniel and his longtime partner, Marcus Hale, had worked countless operations together. Marcus wasn't just a partner, he was Daniel's brother-in-arms, the man who had pulled him from burning wreckage in Afghanistan, the one he trusted without hesitation. But trust is the sharpest blade when it turns. The night of the raid, something felt wrong. The docks were too quiet, the shadows too still. Daniel's instincts screamed at him, but Marcus kept pushing forward, his voice steady, too steady. Then the trap sprung. Masked gunmen poured out of shipping containers. Bullets shredded the silence. Daniel dove for cover, firing back, but something didn't add up. The ambush was perfect, almost like someone had handed them the plan. He looked for Marcus only to see him standing, untouched, his gun lowered. Their eyes met, and in that instant, Daniel understood. Marcus had sold him out. The chaos that followed was a blur of blood, fire, and betrayal. Daniel barely escaped alive, riddled with wounds, crawling into the freezing harbor water as his world collapsed. The last thing he remembered before darkness claimed him was Marcus' voice, calm and cold. "You should have stayed out of this, brother." Middle arc set up weeks later. Daniel woke up in a safe house, patched together by an underground contact. His career was over. Official reports listed him as missing in action, presumed dead. But death, Daniel realized, was a gift. It gave him freedom. It gave him the chance to strike back from the shadows. As he pieced himself together, Daniel uncovered the truth. Marcus hadn't just betrayed him, he had orchestrated everything. The smuggling ring was a front for something larger, a vast network of arms dealers, politicians, and crime bosses tied together in a web of blood money. Marcus had switched sides, trading his badge for power. And Daniel, he was supposed to be the loose end. But loose ends have a way of unraveling entire tapestries. Daniel began his war in silence. He studied the network, striking small at first, taking down lieutenants, burning warehouses, turning allies against one another. Every move was calculated, every strike a message. "I'm still alive. I'm coming for you." The city whispered about a ghost, a vigilante hunting in the dark. To Daniel, it was justice. To Marcus, it was war. Conflict escalation. Marcus, now deeply embedded in the criminal empire, grew restless. His enemies were being dismantled, his empire bleeding from unseen cuts. He knew only one man could move with such precision: Daniel Kade. Their battle became a silent chess match, each move deadlier than the last. Daniel sabotaged shipments, Marcus retaliated with assassins. Daniel uncovered corrupt politicians, Marcus framed innocents to throw him off track. The city became their battlefield, its people caught in the storm of their vengeance. But Daniel's crusade wasn't just about Marcus, it was about betrayal itself. Every corrupt official, every mobster that had turned their back on justice became his target. And as his legend grew, so did the danger. Because Marcus wasn't working alone. Behind him stood Viktor Rinaldi, the most ruthless crime lord the East Coast had ever seen. With Viktor's resources, Marcus was untouchable. Or so he believed. Daniel knew differently. He had nothing left to lose. And a man with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous of all. The final straw came one storm-soaked night. Daniel intercepted a shipment meant for Viktor's empire. But when he tore open the crates, his blood ran cold. Inside weren't weapons or money. Inside was evidence, documents, photos, recordings, everything proving Marcus' betrayal, everything tying him to Viktor. And one more thing. A single photo. It showed Daniel's younger sister, Emily, bound, bruised, alive. Marcus hadn't just betrayed him. He had taken his family. For Daniel, the war was no longer just about justice. It was about blood, If you thought the betrayal in part 1 was brutal, wait until you see how far Marcus and Viktor will go to break Daniel. Stay with me until the end. It only gets darker, and trust me, you won't want to miss the shocking finale. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It's the best way to keep this channel alive and to bring you more stories just like this one. The Broken Oath Part 2. Rain hammered down as Daniel stared at the photo of his sister, his knuckles white with rage. Emily. She was the only piece of family he had left, the one person who had always believed in him. Marcus knew that. He had used her as the final chain, the cruelest weapon. Danielle's heart screamed to storm Viktor's compound that very night, to tear it apart brick by brick until he had Emily back. But he knew rage would get her killed. He needed patience, precision, and vengeance. The trap inside the web Daniel's war escalated. He began leaving messages, cryptic symbols burned into walls, taunts painted in red across warehouses, a ghost haunting Marcus' empire. The city buzzed with fear, and Marcus responded with fury, ordering brutal crackdowns, executions, and raids. But Viktor Rinaldi was different, cold, calculated. He studied Daniel like prey, setting traps with deadly patience. One night, Daniel walked right into one, a safe house where Emily was supposedly kept. He fought through guards, blades flashing, bullets tearing concrete apart only to find the room empty. A recording device flickered in the corner. Then Marcus' voice filled the air. "You taught me everything, Daniel. Every tactic, every trick. Did you really think I wouldn't use them against you?" The building exploded seconds later. Daniel barely escaped, his body torn, his mind boiling with guilt. Marcus wasn't just hunting him, he was playing with him. And worse, Emily was still out there. The enemy within Daniel wasn't without allies. His survival had bred whispers, and some in the underworld admired his war against Viktor. One of them was Lena Vargas, a former assassin turned informant. She had lost her own family to Viktor's cruelty, and she swore her loyalty to Daniel's cause. But loyalty, Daniel had learned, was fragile. Lena guided him into Viktor's network, feeding him intel, smuggling weapons, even saving his life more than once. Together, they began dismantling Viktor's empire piece by piece. Warehouses burned, accounts drained, corrupt officials exposed. Yet with every victory, Daniel couldn't shake a gnawing doubt. Marcus had taught him to see patterns, to find weaknesses, and something about Lena was too perfect, too convenient. The truth revealed itself in blood. One night, after ambushing a convoy, Daniel discovered a hidden transmitter among his gear. Lena had planted it. She had been feeding Marcus their moves all along. When confronted, Lena didn't beg. She smiled. "You think you're the only one who's lost everything? Viktor promised me my revenge. He promised me justice for my family. And Marcus promised me survival. You're just chasing ghosts." Daniel's fury nearly consumed him. But he didn't kill her. Not yet. Betrayal deserved more than death. The war peaks. Viktor realized his empire was bleeding. For the first time in years, cracks appeared in his iron rule. Marcus urged him to crush Daniel with overwhelming force, to end it in one decisive blow. And so they set the stage. An abandoned steel mill. Rumors spread that Emily was being held there. Daniel knew it was a trap, but he also knew he had no choice. The battle that followed was a symphony of chaos, gunfire roaring, steel beams collapsing, shadows lit by fire. Daniel fought like a man possessed, his rage a storm tearing through Viktor's men. And then, at last, he faced Marcus. The final confrontation. Marcus stood waiting amid the fire, his gun steady, his smirk unbroken. "You should have died at the docks," Marcus said. "But maybe this is better. Maybe I needed you alive, so you could understand what loyalty really means. It's not about truth. It's not about justice. It's about survival." Daniel raised his weapon. His voice was steady. "You betrayed everything we stood for. You betrayed me. And you betrayed her." Emily's cries echoed from the shadows. Marcus shoved her forward, using her as a shield. "One shot, Daniel. One shot, and you kill your sister. Can you live with that?" The room trembled as fire consumed the rafters. Time slowed. Daniel remembered every moment of their brotherhood, every battle fought together, every laugh shared. And then he remembered the betrayal. Daniel didn't aim for Marcus' head. He aimed for his hand. The bullet shattered bone, forcing Marcus to release Emily. She stumbled free, and Daniel lunged, shielding her with his body as Marcus screamed in rage. The two men clashed fists, knives, fury. Years of brotherhood turned to hatred, every strike fueled by betrayal. Marcus was skilled, brutal, relentless. But Daniel had something Marcus no longer possessed: a reason to fight. With a final roar, Daniel drove the blade into Marcus' chest. His former brother gasped, blood bubbling on his lips. "You were my brother," Marcus whispered. "No," Daniel said coldly. "You were my mistake." Marcus fell into the fire, his body consumed by the flames. The last betrayal, Daniel turned to Emily, pulling her into his arms. For a moment, it seemed over. The nightmare ended. But Viktor Rinaldi was still alive. From the shadows, Viktor emerged, calm and smiling, a pistol in his hand. "Impressive," Viktor said. "You've cost me millions. You've destroyed half my empire. But you forgot one thing, Mr. Kade. Men like me don't lose. We adapt." He raised the gun, and a shot rang out. Viktor staggered, blood pouring from his chest. Behind him stood Lena Vargas, her pistol smoking. "Adapt to that," she whispered. Daniel froze. She had betrayed him once. Now she had saved him. "Why?" Daniel asked. Lena's eyes burned with pain. "Because Marcus lied. Viktor lied. They all lied. Maybe you're the only one who never did." Before Daniel could respond, Lena vanished into the flames, leaving him with Emily in his arms, the steel mill collapsing around them. Epilogue: weeks later, the city whispered of the fire that consumed Viktor's empire. Some said Daniel Kade died in it. Others claimed the ghost still walked among them, a shadow hunting those who betrayed justice. Daniel himself remained silent. He disappeared with Emily, leaving behind nothing but rumors and a warning written in blood on the walls of the underworld: betrayal never goes unpunished. And as the city rebuilt, those who thrived on corruption felt a cold truth settle into their bones. The war wasn't over. The ghost was still out there, watching, waiting. And that's the end of tonight's story. If you made it this far, thank you. You're the kind of viewer who loves the twists, the betrayal, the revenge just as much as I love telling it. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell, because more stories like this are coming soon. And remember, trust is fragile and betrayal is forever.